interface with a lot of different things. So that investment that we didn't make into public health before the pandemic is catching up to us.
There's this, though, and then there's the unemployment infrastructure, and then there's the DMV computers, which, look like you run MS-DOS, and the blue screens and the pipes. So when do we start to fix these things? And all of it costs money.
No, you're right. As a state senator who is part of the budget subcommittee, there actually are IT systems that investments we are making, and many of them actually do work. You don't hear the news about the systems that do work. You hear the news about the systems that don't work, and you're right. The ones that don't work are problematic. And of course, the other issue is that we have a lot of legacy systems. So you talk about DMV. I think when you talk about same with the unemployment system, and it has real world consequences when we have a crisis like this. So that's the other thing is when you design these systems, you have to think about sort of extreme events. COVID-19 is an extreme event. The volume of people applied for unemployment just is huge compared to what people anticipate might happen in a normal course of events.
So I'm guessing that a lot of people listening to this probably don't give a hoot about all the different technicalities. They just want to know, is this state doing better, worse, the same when it comes to the coronavirus? What's the answer to that?
So we are flattening the curve again, although with a lot of cases. And they are basically feeding in all the cases they were missing. So we are going to be able to get more accurate numbers pretty soon. We are flattening the curve, but we have to work to bend the curve so that the number of cases go down. And we haven't gotten there yet. So we have to keep wearing our masks, keeping our physical distance, washing our hands. We need to get those case numbers down, way down from what they are now.
State Senator Dr. Richard Pan, Democrat from Sacramento.
Newbury Park Church disregards a public health order to hold Sunday morning services. We will talk with the pastor of that church next. I'm Tim Smith. At Oxford BMW, our core values are based on you and your best interests. We've believed this for over 100 years because it's the right thing to do. See us now in our open and safe showroom or visit us online at oxfordbmw.com.
Have you recently had significant damages resulting from rain, wind, fire damage, or even a pipe burst in your home or place of business? How about vandalism? Is your property insurance company refusing to pay you a fair compensation to repair these damages? Let the attorneys at Appear, Cohen, Trizon, and Sallow put a stop to insurance company abuse. Axe Law will take immediate action for you. Call the power 833-AXE-LAW for a free consultation. That's 833-AXE-LAW. 833-228-7529. In search of refreshment. I'm Anthony Dias-Blue at the Blue Lifestyle Minute, sponsored by Cuisinart. Summer is in full swing, and during these days of relentless heat, it takes some creativity to find some refreshment. Sometimes a drink that sounds good on paper involves so much effort to make, you work up a sweat just by the time you get it in the glass. It's better to conserve your energy. Keep things simple. Take a vodka soda, for example, and it's best with only 3 ingredients. Keep your favorite vodka in the freezer and use crushed ice if possible. Pour the vodka and the club soda into your glass using a 1-to-2 ratio. A slender wedge of lime completes the drink, brightening and cooling your mind. I'm Anthony Dias-Blue, sponsored by Cuisinart. Find small appliances and cookware. Visit Cuisinart.com. This is the Blue Lifestyle Minute. Check out our new website at bluelifestyle.com.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then try Babbel. Text HELLO to 64,000 and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel was created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Now try Babbel 3. Just text HELLO to 34,000 and Start learning a new language today. That's hello to 64,000. HELLO to 64,000.
Shop Lowe's and get Valspar's Dual Scrub and Stain Resistant Ultra Interior Paintless Primer. Starting at just $24.98 a gallon every day. U.S. only.
115 now, traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s, and here's Tom Tran.
An earlier signaled out on the 215 right before the Riverside interchange. It's starting to clear. We had a tractor trailer involved in the crash there. It's improving as you get closer to the Riverside interchange, but that 215 northbound still backs up way back near Cactus Avenue. 60 starting to improve as you make that merge with 215 as well, but again, stays slow until you get over towards the split with the 90. We also have some slowing on the southbound side of the 71. Busy just before you get to the 91, slow until you get onto that east 91, and then it clears up after that. Northbound side of the 605 and Telegraph. Got two big rigs involved in a crash there off to the right shoulder, adding to that slowing as you're trying to get through Santa Fe Springs. Your next report, 125. More traffic reports more often. Tom Tran, KNX 1070 News Radio.
This is KNX In Depth, along with Charles Feldman. I'm Mike Simpson.
The 2020 college football season is teetering on the brink. Schools and athletic conferences grapple with how to play games while keeping their student athletes safe. We're going to talk with a Stanford player who's demanding a plan to be in place before he's willing to take the field.
Right now, though, President Trump signed executive orders he said will keep enhanced unemployment benefits and a national moratorium on evictions in place as the economy continues to limp along during the pandemic. Closer look, though, at the orders. It's far from clear that they will accomplish those goals. Jack Smulligan is Senior Policy Fellow at the Urban Institute, former Deputy Associate Director at the Office of Management and Budget. So, Jack, let's break these down. We have one executive order. We have some memoranda. Let's start with the unemployment, because that's what people have been concentrating on, especially when they look at the negotiations on Capitol Hill that aren't going much of anywhere. We have Governor Newsom just not too long ago saying some of this, at least a fourth of the new payment, is up to the states, and he says California does not have the money to do this. So how much of this do you think actually gets off the ground?
Yeah, there's many difficulties with implementing the unemployment insurance policy. I mean, for starters, you're working off of authority to respond to disasters that FEMA would normally address. So, like a hurricane disaster, for instance. And FEMA has some limited funds, roughly $44 billion. That the administration is attempting to leverage for purposes of the Department of Labor unemployment insurance program, but that has a whole set of different legal authorities and administrative processes. And so there's kind of legal complexities and implementation complexities with trying to access money from one department and get it over to another. And then you just have to start with the fact that $44 billion might sound like a lot, but when we're talking about $1 trillion relief packages, it actually only gets you about 4 or 5 weeks of the expanded UI benefits, and that's not even going into the 25% match that states have to address. And so, whether or not any of this happens, I think is very questionable.
Well, then you also have the issue of the payroll tax postponement, because if he gets his way, he's not getting rid of it. It would just go away unless Congress changes it till the new year, but that would leave many people on the hook to pay the government back. So how does that help anybody?
Right. Yeah, it's sort of a catch-22. I mean, I think employers are going to be responsible for ultimately providing this to the IRS. And so you can understand why employers would be reluctant to leave the money with the workers and have to potentially go to them at the end of the year and ask for everything at once. But on the other hand, if the employers just retain the funds, that doesn't really accomplish any relief for the workers. And they're doing this, I think, through executive action. It's bad for the trust funds, for Social Security and Medicare, and it really doesn't do much for workers.
If the employers think they have to pay it back anyways, they're just going to hold on to it, not give it to the people in their checks, so that they won't see it. What about the evictions, the moratorium on them? Is this actually, does this have legal teeth, or does it say, hey, you guys should do this?
Yeah, that's sort of the irony with this one, is that you didn't actually need a presidential executive action to do what little was accomplished with that, because essentially all the president was doing is telling his department, hey, do the most you can to protect renters from eviction. And so there's nothing that the actual document that the president signed accomplishes, and it couldn't have been accomplished by bringing some agency staff into the White House and giving them a verbal instruction. And so that one, I think, is probably the most symbolic of all of them. And the thing to keep in mind is that even if it did have teeth, the nature of the presidential authority is such that he can't do an executive order that provides renters with rental relief. Congress is the only one who can appropriate new money, and so the president at best is looking at ways of moving money around across departments, and his ability to do that legally is quite limited, and he's working with much more modest sums than we need to respond to this crisis.
Who gives him advice then on doing all this? I mean, does he just sign stuff and ignore the fact that maybe he can't?
Well, so I spent 27 years in a career role within the OMB, and so I've seen a lot of these, and in this case it does look like this is more being done for symbolism than for substance, and that's, I mean, that's the nature of these offices. Some things are done for political reasons. I think the challenge here is that we're in the midst of this crisis, and we don't need a distraction from figuring out genuine relief, and we don't need Congress to say, okay, this is good enough, we're going to go home for our August recess without taking more substantive action.
Well, I guess you could think about how many, texts were sent on Saturday or Sunday saying, oh, good, the president signed that thing and now I get the $400, and then you're happy, or maybe you think you're going to be happy. But that also doesn't divorce it from the idea that you can still be mad at Congress for not getting it together. You can have a discerning eye on the executive orders and look at Congress and go, what the heck? Why can't you come to some sort of a deal?
And it needs to be a deal with the administration. So I think it's Congress working with the administration, because it has to be something that the president's willing to sign. And so, I think you just need to hold everyone accountable to get back in the room and negotiate until they've got it worked out.
Jack Mulligan, Senior Policy Fellow, Urban Institute. Jack, thanks.
KNX In-Depth Podcast is available as always. Download for free the radio.com app onto your smartphone. There's also the Coronavirus Daily Podcast. Mike and I do get that wherever you get your podcasts from. KNX In-Depth will continue.
Dell supports America's entrepreneurs during Small Business Month with all you need to office anywhere. Save up to 45% on computers and servers with Intel Core processors. Upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Plus save on top brand tech while enjoying free shipping on everything. And special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the tech that's just right. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
School goes on.
And Staples has everything to start the year right.
From notebooks to sanitizer, laptops to masks.
And all at amazing prices. This week, a 12-pack of Staples No. 2 pencils, 120-sheet filler paper, and select plastic pencil boxes are just 50 cents each.
Shop in store or pick up